What is a gene? This question is very important when we study genetics, when we study heredity. So today we are going to discuss what is a gene, what is a gene locus, and the difference between homozygous individuals and heterozygous individuals. So let us begin with what is a gene. Gene may be defined as a unit of inheritance which is carried from the parent by a gamete in a chromosome and controls the expression of a character in the young one in cooperation with its allele, other genes and environment. But now, before giving this whole definition, we will be discussing the structure of chromosome. You know, we have chromosomes, and in those chromosomes we have DNA. What is a gene? Gene is a segment of DNA. For example, if I make a chromosome like this, and if I just want to give you a rough idea of how it is, we have supposing a double helical structure of DNA, alright. So, a segment of DNA, a particular segment of DNA, that is known as a gene, okay. So, these genes are the unit of inheritance. In the chromosome, we have a DNA segment, we have DNA, and then a particular DNA segment that is known as a gene. So, these genes are the units of inheritance which is carried from the parent by a gamete in the chromosome. So, you can just make out that they are carried from the parent. From the parents you get your DNA, right? So, they are carried from the parent by a gamete in a chromosome, because this is a part of chromosome, and controls the expression of a character. Each gene is going to encode for a specific character. Okay. So, it encodes for the expression of character in the young one, in the offspring, in cooperation with its allele, other genes and environment. Why in cooperation with alleles, other genes and environment? You all know that the genes, they always exist in pairs. So, that is why that pair of genes is, we call it as allele. For example, in case of pea plant, if we have a pair like this, the expression will be a tall pea plant. If we have a pair like this, the expression will be a tall pea plant again, because when we write the uppercase letter, we denote it that this is going to be the dominant character. When we write a lowercase letter, it means that this is going to be a recessive character. This is going to encode for a recessive character. And when we write this, both lowercase letter t means they are going to encode for recessive character, and they will be expressed since there is no dominant gene here. So, when we talk about the expression, we talk about that they are expressed in the young ones in cooperation with its allele, other genes and environment. So, environment also influences the phenotype of the organism. So, this is how we can broadly define gene as. Gene is defined as a unit of inheritance which is carried from the parents by the gamete. You all know that the gametes of the organisms are haploid cells, since they carry half the number of chromosomes, okay. So, when we talk about a male parent and a female parent, if we talk about human beings, in males we have sperms and in females we have egg. In both the gametes we have half the number of chromosome, and when they fuse to form zygote, that number, original number, is again restored, half from each parent, okay. So, that gamete contains those genes. Where are these genes located? These genes are located on the chromosome like structures which are there in the nucleus of the cell, and these chromosomes have this double helical DNA, and this a particular segment of DNA is known as gene, which is going to encode for a specific characteristic or a trait, okay. So, remember that gene is a unit of inheritance which is carried from the parent by a gamete in a chromosome. It's in a chromosome and controls the expression of a character in the young one in cooperation with its allele, other genes and the environment. Now, let's move on to the next topic, very important topic, that is necessary to clear your basics also, plus an understanding of the study of genetics, that is gene locus. Try to understand this very carefully. What is a gene locus? A specific region of a chromosome representing a single gene or allele. When I am talking of a single gene, a particular segment of DNA which is going to encode for a specific characteristic, that region of chromosome where that gene is present, that is known as gene locus. Singular is locus and for plural we have loci. So a specific region of a chromosome representing a single gene or allele. And the allelic genes occupy the corresponding loci in pair of homologous chromosomes. When we have homologous chromosome means we have a pair of chromosomes in which the genes are present which are encoding for the same character. For example, if this gene is going to encode for height of the plant, then this gene from other parent is also going to encode for height of the plant. So how you can make out that the allelic genes occupy the corresponding loci? See, this is the corresponding loci to this in pair of homologous chromosomes. When we talk about homologous chromosomes means we are going to talk about the pair of chromosomes in which the gene which is specific for a particular trait is present, and the next chromosome which is from other parent, it also contains the same locus, same region where that gene for that particular trait which was there from this parent is going to be present. So they are homologous to each other. So the allelic genes occupy the corresponding loci in pair of homologous chromosomes. Next, when we talk about gene locus, there is specific methodology to explain how you can locate this region of DNA or the specific region where that gene is present. That particular methodology is, for example, if I talk about chromosome number 6, I write number 6 first of all. Then if I talk about the shorter arm or the longer arm, right, remember that the shorter arm of the chromosome is known as a P arm. Now why this is known as P arm? Because that alphabet P is taken from the French word that is petite. Petite means something small. So P arm is the shorter arm, and then we have a Q arm. Q arm is the longer arm. So when I am going to write this numeral 6 is going to mean that I am talking about the chromosome number 6, and when I am going to write P, a lowercase letter p, this is going to say that we are talking about the smaller arm on the chromosome, that is P arm of the chromosome. And supposingly if I write 2, 1, this 2, 1 is going to encode for what? That the second band, the second region of the chromosome and the first band of that region, okay. And in fact, sometimes it's also written as 0.3. This is the sub-band. With high resolution, what you can see is, you can also see the sub-bands of those regions. So remember, the gene locus of a chromosome is usually denoted by such methodology. The first numeral is going to convey to you, we are talking about which chromosome. If this is number 6, means we are talking about chromosome number 6. If this is 22, means we are talking about chromosome number 22. And this P or Q, it can be P or it can also be Q. P is going to explain that we are talking about a region on the chromosome on the shorter arm of the chromosome, okay. And Q is going to denote that we are talking about a longer arm of the chromosome, means that region is present in the longer arm of the chromosome. And then 2, 1, don't read it as 21, this is 2, 1. This 2 is going to encode that we are talking about the second, on the P arm we are going to talk about the second region. So how do we count this? From the centromere, these are counted, okay. We start this counting from the centromere, from the nearest region on the centromere. So we are talking about the second region on the P arm and the first band. When we say first band, means the bands which are present in what? In the second region of the P arm of the 6th chromosome. 0.3 means this is the sub band. You can see sub bands when you got to achieve more resolution, okay. So how we see these bands, how we see these chromosomes, how can we label these up? When we see chromosomes under microscope, we have to stain them. When you stain them, you got to see these bands, these colored bands, okay. So by seeing those colored bands, we start numbering them, and this is how we can talk about the gene locus. Remember, the first numeral says we are talking about chromosome number 6. This letter P states that we are talking about the shorter arm of the chromosome. Letter 2 says we are talking about the second region of the P arm of the 6th chromosome. This numeral 1 says that we are talking about the first band of the second region on the P arm of the 6th chromosome, and this point 3 conveys that we are talking about the third sub band of first band of second present in the second region of P arm of the 6th chromosome. This is how we justify this. So a gene locus is a specific region of a chromosome representing a single gene or allele. The allelic genes occupy the corresponding loci in pair of homologous chromosomes. I hope now this gene locus is clear to you. Next we move on to the difference between homozygous individuals and heterozygous individuals. As you all know, the word homo means same. So they have similar alleles for a specific trait. When I am going to talk about the alleles which are present in homozygous individuals, I will always write it as both the T as uppercase T or both the T as lowercase t. This is an example in case of pea plant. When we talk about homozygous individuals, we are talking initially about the similar alleles which are encoding for a specific trait. But if we talk about heterozygous individuals, they have dissimilar alleles, means they have one dominant also and they have one recessive also. So this is an example, this is how you write for heterozygous individuals because they have dissimilar alleles. Then they possess dominant or recessive alleles, never both. This is just justified by looking at this. You can say that they are going to possess either dominant or recessive. They will not be providing with both the combination, means you cannot have such a combination in case of homozygous individuals. See, but in heterozygous they possess both dominant and recessive alleles. As you can see, this is the dominant one and this is the recessive one. So they possess both dominant and recessive alleles and they produce only one kind of gametes. Since they are homozygous, they are encoding for similar alleles, they are going to produce only one kind of gamete and they are going to produce two kind of gametes. Now how is it possible? You all know that if we have the parents like this or if we have the parents like this, what are going to be the gametes? The gametes could be this only, and in this case also the parent is this, the gametes could be this only. Okay, lowercase letter t in this case and uppercase letter t in this case. But in heterozygous individuals they produce two kinds of gametes. How two kinds of gametes? If we have a combination like this, so it can also produce a gamete which can have an uppercase letter t. It can also produce a gamete which can have a lowercase letter t. Okay, so in this case they can produce two kinds of gametes. In homozygous individuals, if we talk, they breed true for specific trait. Means if we are going to talk about a homozygous individual, they are going to be true breeding. Okay, but in this case they do not breed true because they have a dominant also and a recessive allele also. So that is why they do not breed true. They are not true breeding lines, but they are going to breed true for specific traits since they are homozygous because they contain the similar alleles for a specific trait. So let us recall what is the difference between homozygous and heterozygous individuals. They are going to encode for similar alleles for specific trait. For example, in case of pea plant, this is going to be what? A true breeding tall pea plant, and this is going to be a true breeding dwarf pea plant. But in this case, heterozygous individuals, we have two dissimilar alleles, so they are going to encode for hybrid tall in case of pea plants. Okay, they possess dominant or recessive alleles, and they possess both dominant and recessive alleles. This is the example. You can see that they will possess either dominant or either recessive, but in this case they are going to possess both, one dominant and one recessive. And they produce only one kind of gametes. Since they are homozygous, they are going to contain the similar alleles, they will always produce one kind of gametes. But since they are heterozygous, they contain a dominant also and recessive also, they can produce two kinds of gametes, and they breed true for specific trait. They will produce true breeding lines, but they are not going to breed true since they contain both the alleles, one dominant also and one recessive also. So I hope that what is a gene, the gene locus or the difference between homozygous and heterozygous individuals is very clear to you, because this forms the basics of the study of genetics and heredity. Remember, this is for your additional knowledge that how can you locate, how can you give a demonstration of where the gene is present on a specific chromosome. This numeral, first numeral, tells you, explains you that we are talking about the 6th chromosome. Then P arm is a shorter arm. This encodes for the second region on the P arm, and this encodes for the first band on the second region of the P arm of 6th chromosome, and this encodes for this point 3 encodes for the sub band. Okay, so this gene is the unit of inheritance which is carried from parents by a gamete in a chromosome and controls the expression of a character in the young one in cooperation with its allele, other genes and environment. And this gene locus is the specific region of a chromosome representing a single gene or allele. Just learn these definitions by heart because they are going to help you in the examination also, plus they will also clear your basic understanding